So when the fasting, praying, and giving is over, so comes the question, what are we doing right now? Because should we go just back to our old normal lifestyle? And no, that's not smart. Because maybe you have fasted about sweets, you don't eat any chocolate and sugar, or maybe you skipped Netflix or social media or coffee, whatever it will be. So there's a lot of things you felt in your body, in your spirit. Oh, I'm so awakened, I'm so clear. So what are you doing right now? For example, some people said, I skipped the sweet. What happens if you skip sweet chocolate?
Yeah, you don't get up in the morning and feel so tired. You have more energy, and you don't have this hunger attack during the day. The downs with you feel so tired on midday. These are only some of the good effects that it has when you live sugar free. And the question really is, would you love to go back? And most probably this happened to me. You will say, no, I don't go back. But then you add until you are there where you once was. That is not really the end, and that's not so bad at all, because the fasting season comes again next year. And this is what happened to me. Over the years, I started to change my eating habit because we fasted every year, and now I realize what is really healthy for my body, because I feel it every year, and I add every year a little bit more of the new habit, and this helps me to just implement what I know actually is good. But give it a time and do it with intention. This is what's the
So
word.
this week after fasting is very quick, because you have to take time to ask this question, what of those things I put into my agenda, into my new lifestyle? For example, I drank 8 coffee on a Sunday, I ate so much bread, nothing about coffee and bread, but it's always the amount. So after fasting and praying, I'm realizing, oh, my coffee and my eating bread is too much. So I skipped the Sunday, only drink tea, and I don't eat any bread anymore. So this is now in my new lifestyle. I changed that one thing, and that had an effect, because every day I drank maybe 6 coffees, and now I drink only 2 coffees a day. So I reduced the coffee consume because of fasting, praying, because the effect on my body was immense. Or for example, sweets and chocolate. I'm a big sweeter actually. So I realized it's not healthy actually. So what I did, I said, okay, after fasting and praying, once a week, one day, I take the sugar and the chocolate. But then I realized I have headache, and I'm waking up so strong. And then I said, no, I will not eat this anymore. So the last year, I skipped totally chocolate, everything, because dear things, I cannot eat a little bit. That's not in my personality. So people can say, I just take a little bit, just a snap. Congratulations, that's not my style. For me, it's easier to eat nothing than just a little bit. So what I mean by that is, you asked the question, so I skipped those things. What of those things I put in my agenda so that it works? And if you do this every year in one area, you're going from glory to glory, and you will not be the same person anymore. I'm not started in all the areas super well. It's always a journey. It's a development. It's we going to another level. And this is often even when we speak about money. And this year we had the courage just to speak 21 days about money. Why? Because I'm realizing this is a big topic. So everyone has an area which you need a breakthrough. So now you prayed and you fast about giving, and now comes the question of all those topics. Which topic is the one I change? I take into my daily routine.
Yeah, and it's so important. You have some ideas, you have some topics that still cling to you, and you have it inside of you. Write it down, because only when you write down what you feel now, what touched you now, you will also feel and see it in 2 months, in 3 months, because otherwise it's gone. It's gone. And only next year you will remember. And then you lost a whole year where you could go step by step, only 1%. This was your message before the fasting season. What is your 1% step? And keep that on track, because you have a bigger picture. We gave it an overview in these last 21 days. And now you go back to the 1%. What is the next step? What is the next step? And you know where you want to be, but keep on track on this and write it down.
So 3 things I want to close what I do. First of all, I put it down my agenda next year. I will fast and pray again. That's in my agenda. Do this every single year for many, many years because it's healthy. Secondly, the next week, this coming, I think what of all those things I put into my agenda. It takes time. I write it down. And the week number 5, it's because I was fasting. I'm not going back to the normal eating lifestyle. So how can I come into the lifestyle again? And then after 3-4 weeks, you will figure out, oh my gosh, my spirit is not so clear anymore. And that's the thing. But I bless you right now with the spirit of wisdom. But God is saying, if you're lacking wisdom, we can pray for wisdom and God will pour out wisdom. I pray right now with life that the spirit of wisdom will kiss you, will be overflowing in your life because you're blessed to be a blessing for other people. Amen. Thanks.
Amen.
Bye-bye.